Hello loves, thank you for tuning in. So I've been asked overwhelmingly to do a video about my appetite suppressants after I made my video about my weight loss and so on, and about my like daily diet meal plan or whatever. I talked about my appetite suppressants. And back in September when I started the Super Shred diet, the diet really increases your metabolism because, as I talked about in the Super Shred diet review, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It creates a eating schedule that you have to follow, and your metabolism really speeds up because you're eating like all the time. And that shift in eating and the menu changing from week to week and the time frame that you're eating creates more hunger, especially if you're used to eating a heavy meal. You are going to be hungry because you're eating all these small meals. And if you're one who's used to eating like 2 meals a day, your metabolism is going to be crazy because now you're eating like 4 meals a day and like 3 snacks, and it's just a lot of food. It's a lot of food. It's just a lot of eating. So however you want to put it, your girl was hungry, okay? So I wanted to be successful in the Super Shred diet, and so I decided to go and get an appetite suppressant. I had used appetite suppressants before, back in like 2010 when I was trying to lose as much weight as possible for my wedding. I got married in July of 2010, so I had gotten an appetite suppressant from GNC, and I wanted to try something new because that appetite suppressant that I had used from GNC was the GMC Apitrax, and you have to take 3 pills throughout the day. You take a pill before each meal, and I wanted to try something different, but that was something that was familiar to me. So I went to GNC and I just picked it up. When I picked up that appetite suppressant, the Apitrax, I immediately remembered why I stopped using it before. It's too difficult to remember to take the appetite suppressant within an hour of when you actually get hungry. Like I think it says 30 to 60 minutes before you eat. And the problem that I was having with the Apitrax and the Super Shred diet, which is what I was following, was although I knew my schedule, because I had so many meals, it was hard to decide which meal to take it before. And then because some meals and some snacks come so close together, I would literally be taking the appetite suppressant like right after I ate. And if I'm not mistaken, that's like not proper absorption because I just ate, my body's still digesting the food that I ate, and now I'm taking an appetite suppressant and then I'm eating again like in an hour or whatever. So, and also the Apitrax don't taste good. That's for one. They have like this earthy herbal taste that's not really good, and it makes me very gassy. Like I'm always burping when I take it. So I returned it and I went and I got another appetite suppressant, which I can't remember the second one I got, like the name of it, but I remember the container. I'm gonna go on GNC, and it was like silver, really shiny bottle. The Apitrax by GNC is about like $30. The next one I got was recommended to me from somebody at GNC, and he said that there was no taste, no flavor. It's in a little white capsule form, and you only have to take 2 a day, 1 before your first meal, which was easy because I knew I would just take it right when I woke up, and then 1 before your largest second meal of the day. So if your largest second meal of the day is lunch, typically on the Super Shred diet, your like meal 2, which is what it would have been before. So it was easier to follow. This particular appetite suppressant was more expensive. It was maybe $70. And I think for me, because I was so desperate to really be successful, like remember now, the Super Shred diet is 4 weeks, and it promotes you that you can lose 20 pounds. In September, I was 230 pounds, and to lose 20 pounds in the month would have brought me down to 210. I was desperate to be successful at losing the 20 pounds because I really wanted to kickstart my weight loss. I was 270 at the end of my pregnancy with Elle. With the week after my pregnancy with Elle, I was 270, and I got down to 240 in the summer, and from summer to September, I got only lost like 10 pounds because summer was just so, you know, so much ice cream and cupcakes and barbecue, hot dogs and chicken, and I hosted a lot over the summer as well, and I traveled a lot for work. So anyway, I'm basically saying that from February to September, I had only lost like 40 pounds because I didn't put as much effort. So when I did this Super Shred diet, I wanted to lose as much as possible. And because the Super Shred diet requires you to eat a lot of food and my metabolism was increasing, I needed to control my hunger. So I am saying all of that to justify me buying like $70 appetite suppressants. And my mindset was, this $70 will be a good investment because I'll be 20 pounds lighter at the end of the month. And that's a great investment for me if I'm trying to lose weight. So, you know, don't judge a girl, okay? I'm just being completely transparent with you all in this video. So I returned the Apotrex. GNC has a great policy if you use something within like, I don't even know if they have a time frame or if it's just, if you don't like it, just bring it back. Like, I don't know I don't remember, I don't know their return policy, but I do know that they took it back. So anyway, I got this new appetite suppressant. Now this is my second one I'm trying now. And this was probably within the same first week of doing the Super Shred diet. So this one was not making me gassy, which was a plus because I wasn't burping all the time after taking it. It was easier to follow, number 2, because you just take one pill in the morning before you eat, 30 minutes before you eat, and then you take another pill before your next, 30 minutes before your next largest meal. So with Super Shred, because they have meals and snacks, I just made sure to take the second pill before meal 2. And it was easier to follow. Like I said, it was easier. So the first 2 things that were issues for me were no longer issue for me. The problem, which was the third thing now, is that I was still hungry. I was still hungry. Whereas with the Apotrex that I had just returned, I actually wasn't hungry because the appetite suppressant really helps to keep your hunger levels down. So I was hungry, like normal type of hungry, but with the Apotrex, I told you the other issues. So this one, I felt like not only was my metabolism like expedient, hey guys. Not only was my metabolism like expedient because of my constant eating with the diet, I didn't feel like this helped me at all. It was as if I wasn't taking them. That's how I felt. And they cost twice as much as the Apotrex. So I returned those bad boys with like after 2 days of using them, I returned them because let me also mention that with appetite suppressants, they don't need like a week to kick in, like how some vitamins and medications, you really got to give it time. No, appetite suppressants are not like that. If it's supposed to suppress your appetite, it's supposed to suppress your appetite. If you are eating differently for a whole week and then they finally kick in, that's not the appetite suppressant. That's your body adjusting to the decrease in calories or the increase in food consumption or the change in the food schedule. Like, that's your body adjusting, not the appetite suppressant. So after 2 days, you know, like if it's working. So anyway, I returned it. So that was the second one that I had used. I went in and I asked about another one, and it was a different sales associate there that day. So I explained to him that I had tried the Apotrex and it worked, but the 3 a day was too much and I was gassy. And then I told him, so I got this one here, which is like 2 times as much, almost like 3 times as much. And it's easier to take, and I'm not gassy, but it sucks. It's garbage. Like, it doesn't work at all. And he explained that appetite suppressants are pretty subjective. Some people can use the one that I hated, that didn't work for me, and they are good. They don't feel hungry the whole day. Which is the case when I went online and I researched them. A lot of people said that they really did like it, and there were a few that were like me, were like, these are crap, they don't work. And he said that, you know, so it really just depends on the body. So he suggested something more organic, like the Garcinia cambogia. And Garcinia cambogia comes in capsule, it comes in, I believe, powder, and it comes in a chew. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. They had some samples out on display for you to try right in the store. So you can actually go into a GNC and you can grab some of those little supplement chews that they have there. Some are for hunger, some are for metabolism, some are for vitamin, whatever. You can take those and try them. So he told me to try 2, and I tried 2. I felt good. I bought the pack because he said it was a buy one, get one half for members. So I bought 2 packs, and the flavor was delicious. It was very flavorful. It was nice and chewy like a Starburst. I think the only thing is that if you love sweets and like Starburst, it doesn't taste identical to it. But if you've like committed to like not eating junk food, then it's like a treat. It tastes like a treat. So anyway, I bought the 2 packs, and I had taken 2 chews, like I said, in the store. Excuse me. As I was driving home, I started to notice that miraculously I wasn't feeling hungry. And it wasn't like I was hungry in the store, like, oh, and then I took it and then I wasn't hungry anymore. It's just that the time frame normally over this past week that I was going through the shred diet is I was always feeling hungry, and I was constantly trying to suppress that hunger by you know, drinking water and so on. And because the super shred diet is strict on when you can eat, it wasn't like I could just say, well, let me just have a banana, let me have, you know, some grape tomatoes, those healthy choices that you could make. The diet wants you to make those healthy choices, like the banana, like the grape tomato, or whatever, but on a schedule. So when I started to feel hungry, I had to still wait until the time schedule, because that's what makes the diet work. So I'm driving home from GNC, and it took me about like 15 minutes from, you know, the GNC to my house, and I noticed I wasn't hungry. I got home, I drank some water, I still wasn't hungry, and then it was time for me to eat on schedule according to Super Shred, and I wasn't hungry, but I ate because that's what the diet requires. So that same day I needed to take another one, and the same thing happened. I took it with some water and I was good. I wasn't feeling hungry, but I still ate on my schedule. So the Garcinia cambogia chews, it says take 1 to 4 as needed. For the first days, I took like 4, pretty much. I was taking the max dose, and then the next week, same thing, I was taking like 4. The 3rd week of Super Shred, which is actually supposed to be the most difficult week of Super Shred, I found myself not having any trouble at all on Super Shred because the Garcinia cambogia chews was working so good. I was really impressed with these because it was a fraction of the price of both of the other ones. It tasted yummy, and there was no requirement with the Garcinia cambogia chews to take them like 30 minutes before the meal or whatever. It just simply said take as needed. So anytime I started to feel like a hunger was coming on before it was time for me to eat, I just take one and drink some water with it, and I was good. So pretty much I got through the Super Shred diet. I was using the appetite suppressants. They were very helpful. I didn't return them. And weeks 2, 3, and 4 on the Super Shred diet were great for me. I did wonderful. Once the Super Shred diet was over in October, I continued to use the appetite suppressants. But because I wasn't eating on the same schedule as the Super Shred, like an hour and a half, then 2 hours, then an hour and a half, then 2 2 hours and an hour. Because I wasn't eating like that on my own, I didn't need the appetite suppressant because I could make healthy decisions around snacks, like just have an apple because I'm hungry right now. I could make those decisions around the food I was eating because I wasn't on super strength. But there were moments in my day where I'd be hungry and I'd have things to do. A lot of you guys know I work from home, but I do have phone meetings. I have times where I have a phone meeting that can go a couple of hours. I spend a lot of time in the gym in the morning. I have meetings that are outside of the home. I have events where I have to attend panels that I have to speak on, and I have things that I have to do with my children. My son has a lot of extracurricular activities, and there were so many moments where the space in between eating and what the next meal was, one meal and the next was a very large window, like a couple of hours, and I would keep the Garcinia cambogia chews in my purse, and I would pop 1 or 2 and drink a whole bunch of water, and I'd be good. No hunger pain, no belly growling, no nothing. And so October and November, I would say I probably went from needing 4 suppressants a day like I did in September to probably needing like 2 a day. And when I wasn't and when I didn't like leave my house for an extended period of time, I was also, there were days that I didn't need it at all. In December, I found that I had gotten such a good handle on my eating as well as my exercise regimen that I really didn't need my Garcinia cambogia chews on a daily basis. It completely dwindled down and my stomach had adjusted to eating better. I was finding myself making better choices around food in general. So times when I was hungry, instead of carb loading on like rice and whatever like I would have done over the summer, I'm eating my salads and I'm adding my healthy proteins and my healthy fats and stuff to my diet. So mommy's working. So you know, my need for the appetite suppressants really went down. I found myself, instead of needing them 3 times a day, I was needing them like 3 times a week. And fast forward into January, and I didn't even buy a new pack. The same pack that I had in December, I still had in January, and I didn't even use them all. And I actually still have that same pack right now. There might only be a couple in there, but I don't think I'm going to need to buy any more ever again. So this video obviously was a very long narrative. What's the matter? What's the matter? So this video was a very long narrative about how I got into taking my appetite suppressants. But in conclusion, what I would like to say is, you know, I think that if you're in need of an appetite suppressant because you're finding your hunger to just be uncontrollable, and it's not like your hunger is uncontrollable because you're not eating, but you're actually doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, but your metabolism is just through the roof, and unlike someone who naturally has a high metabolism who can eat anything they want, if you start eating anything you want, you will gain weight. Then I suggest that that's something that you might want to try. I also want to just remind you that it took me 3 different appetite suppressants to find one that was for me. And don't just base it on the fact that, well, Jenell takes Garcinia cambogia, so that's the one I'm going to take. I would suggest you start with that one because it's tried and true for me. But as I stated with the second one that I took, it didn't work. And it was more expensive, and a lot of people raved about it online. So for me, I was like, what are these people talking about? This one doesn't work. And then, you know, so you can try the Garcinia cambogia, and if it doesn't work for you, try something else. And also think about convenience and ease and side effects. Like I said, the Apotex worked in terms of calming my hunger. But if I'm gonna be burping all day, and you know, that's just too much. And if you have to take 3 because it requires you to do it before every meal, the likelihood that you're always going to remember to take it is slim. So I love the ease of taking the Garcinia Cambogia. When you start to feel it, take it, and it works. At least for me, it does. Yeah, so I hope that this was informational. I hope that I gave you some insight. Be open to trying new things, do your research, read reviews. If people have talked about things in videos, check those out. Reviews online, read them and watch them. And you can ask the people in the store, of course, if they have any feedback. Sometimes they know a lot, sometimes they don't know anything, trust me. But I do want to know if you have any questions you can ask. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye.
Leave you behind, grabbing the wrong, catch up, wear buttons against me, can't prosper. Armor of God is much stronger than the army of y'all. I'm ready for war. After that, I'm ready to ball, and after that.